another enthralling episode of Diary of a Noob Raid Leader. My name's Neri, the resident sucker who leads raids in my guild. How you doing? Me? I'm kind of a little bit frazzled after this week's worth of raiding, really, because apparently you say you lead one raid in my guild and all of a sudden, grats, you get to lead them all. Huzzah! In our guild, Wednesday is when the pro people raid, Thursday is when my relaxed raid happens, and then the pro people, they finish up on a Sunday evening. I got a message from the raid leader saying he wouldn't be able to make it, which is perfectly fine. It gave me heaps of time to organise people to fill in, and in the end I needed 4 replacements. I'm like, 4 replacements for a farm night? That's pretty balls, but that's okay. It's alright. I figured it out. Did my little GM voodoo and organised subs. I think I had 1 spot free, which I was waiting on a response from. But anyway, being the nice person that I am, I messaged the officers and let them know what was happening. And I was a little bit disappointed because the message I got back was, oh, maybe we should just cancel. What the hell? Why on earth would we cancel a farm night because a few people are missing? And my response straight back was just like, nope. You guys will be raiding tonight. It's about time that the subs that you complain don't do enough DPS actually get some action. So, got the raid together. I had to take my paladin, which I usually reserve for relaxed raids because that's the whole reason why my paladin exists, is for relaxed raids. But because my healing gear is better on my pally than it is my druid, the healing lead asked me to take my pally, which is fair enough. So we managed to get the 4 bosses in Murgashen vaults that we have on farm down, and then against the will of the other officer who thought that we should go to Elegon, I made the judgment call to go to Heart of Fear and do the first boss in there because we've killed that guy before. I know that we can do that guy. And I believe Elegon's a really big DPS race, and I wasn't feeling confident with the numbers that my DPS were doing that evening. So we didn't have the DPS to kill Vizier that night either. We were getting into phase 3 and we were getting mind controls and everything, and it was just a mess and we just couldn't keep up. All in all, everyone wanted to do the farm night. We did the farm night. Subs got some gear. My lol pally got some gear, so that was pretty cool. I was pretty stoked with that. The fill-in tank who complains that he never gets gear, he even got some gear for once, so it was worth it. It was definitely worth it, but a little bit disappointed that that raid seems to have such dire attendance issues. I feel that every week someone has some reason to not show up, and it's really affecting morale and it's really affecting progression. Like, there's this other guild who, we're not in competition with them by all means, but they have similar philosophies to us and similar setups and whatnot. And they've just cleared Murgashen vaults and are working on Heart of Fear now. And we're still 4 out of 6. We've got 2 bosses left there. And we've got the 1 boss down in Heart of Fear, and it's just so disappointing. The drama that has surrounded getting this group together and getting them to kill shit is just so intense. And they'd be fine if just everyone rocked up every week when they said they were going to. Gosh, but enough of that. So Thursday bought my relaxed raid, and that was interesting because I had to pull in subs for Wednesday. Some of my stronger people for Thursday's group were unavailable. Raid sucked. Yeah, that's basically how I'm going to summarize relaxed raid. It sucked. We had new DPS into the raid, and one in particular was really struggling to get out the numbers you would expect for their gear level, but that's okay because that's why I created this group. I created this group so new people to raiding would have a chance to sink their teeth in a low pressure environment, which was great. The real problem came from attitudes of some of our better DPS, and so I had to do something that I was really hoping I wouldn't have to do, and I had to actually pull someone aside and say, look, please, just please pay attention to what you're doing and stop dying. Really, I'm the Resto Druid. I'm using my battle res on you, coming up to life, and then you're dying again. And it really got a lot of people down because this guy is experienced and I love him to bits, but just that night he just wasn't paying attention, and it just really sucked having to say to someone, you know, you're probably a little bit too relaxed, Ray. Like, we didn't get Stone Guard down. That's how poorly we performed, and how, yeah. Hardest combo, though, in my opinion, you've got the Kobold Mines, the Amethyst Pools, and the Jasper Chains, and in a melee heavy group, it's just so much damage, and then undergeared healers on top of that. When other people are dragging everyone else's fun down because they're a little bit too relaxed, and, you know, perhaps, I've talked about this on neriapproves.com, I've talked about how perhaps because I've labelled it as casual, people think they can slack off, you know, they can just, it doesn't really matter if they're not on their A game because it's just a relaxed raid. No need to get all stressed about it. But on the flip side, our group only runs once a fortnight for 2 hours. And if you're constantly failing to do your job and not die and be aware of your surroundings, and I don't even care if you got chained to other people that got you killed, you still need to be aware of your surroundings. And because, you know what, it might affect your DPS moving away from the bosses, but it's also going to affect your DPS a lot more if you're dead. So, yeah, so I had to field a few complaints, and it's just so lame. It was not fun for me. I felt in this particular raid with these two people, I felt like my hands were tied by my own stipulations that it was a relaxed raid and doesn't matter so much about your performance because, you know, it's there to give everyone a go. And I felt that was a disadvantage to us. Like, had I just gone, you know what, you keep dying, fuck off, out now, I don't want you. And you person that has through 485 eye level and you're almost being out DPS by the fresh bear tank, you're gone too, just shoo, don't want you. But I can't do that, and I don't want to really do that either. It's a really messy situation, and I don't know how to handle it. I think I just need to be a bit more hands-on. Like, I think a lot of people, and even the people that were, you know, one of the particular raiders felt that he should pull me aside and tell me all the problems that he thought he saw from the raid, and that was lovely and all, but I'm not a moron. Like, I guess I come across too much like, oh, I'm a noob, I don't know what I'm doing. And so I've sort of created this image that I'm not aware of what's going on, when I was definitely aware that there were two people who weren't performing as well as they could, and I was going to do something about it. But because I didn't openly say it, or I don't know, I didn't feel I needed to say at the end of the raid, right, and player X and player Y, I want to speak to you afterwards because... But it's dumb. So yes, I ended relaxed raids not very relaxed. I was quite frazzled, really. And all was well and good. And then on Sunday, I was going to level my Alliance Mage, except I got a message on Facebook that the raid leader couldn't make it again. And I was stumped at what to do, because some of the people that I'd organised as fill-ins, they weren't going to be available. Other people just weren't online to organise because they had no idea they were raiding, so they took it easy, had a nice casual Sunday. And so our raid didn't start like as it was. I pushed raid time back 45 minutes because someone was going to be late, and they were like our only healer. So yeah, push it back 45 minutes to accommodate them. And then they they log in, and I'm like, shit, where's the other healer? He just still hasn't rocked up. I see what I mean about people just not rocking up. Like, it's so infuriating. And so in the end, we did Heart of Fear. The guy that was going to tank, he bought his Resto Shaman. The other tank was having insane lag issues, so I benched him. And yeah, and my amazing bear tank friend organised one of his friends to come and step in for DPS, and holy shit was he an incredible DPSer. Like, I think we two-shot Heart of Fear, and that was with two incredibly undergeared healers, and because his DPS was just like It's double that of the shamans. Like, it was nuts. And straight away, like, my officers are like, why is this guy not on our raid team? Like, we need him immediately. We have this open spot that we still haven't replaced. Get this guy. And I was like, yep, that was really awesome. But because we didn't have, so we smashed it. And I think raid started at what, 9:30 my time. And by 10, just after 10, it was a bit done. Like, and I'm like, I'm really sorry guys, but I'm going to have to call the raid early. Like, we don't have the heals to go and do Elegon. We, you know, don't have the heals. Don't have the fill-in replacement. I've already had to call in 3 people for this raid. I have no other options. I'm really sorry. And so we finished up raid early. But it was on a high. Like, everyone was like, holy crap, that was so easy. And I'm like, yep. It's what happens when you have dedicated DPS, I suppose. I've rambled on a lot this episode. I'm sorry. I didn't really plan anything. I still don't have any footage because my laptop hates me and my husband has to actually use his computer to raid as well. So, you know, I fail. But yeah. Thanks for watching, guys, and hopefully the loot gods shine down on your raid a lot more than they've been raining down on mine.